Okay, so welcome to today, or to our first academic seminar for the GSG series. Thank you guys for being here, giving time out of your day. So to start off, I am Jacob Lejeski. I am your academic chair for this year for the graduate student government. So part of my job is to make sure and help with professional development opportunities for our current graduate students and any other ways to improve you academically throughout the year. So the academic seminar series is something that my committee offers, and we figured rather than trying to focus everything on just talking about academics, we all know as graduate students that we eventually inevitably procrastinate stuff, or inevitably we don't want to do research 24/7 despite what our advisors may think, and we like to make sure to take a break. So we wanted to offer this first session to just say how to be a graduate student and graduate student life outside of research. So over the next couple of hours, we should be having various people from the Student Activities Office, Mount Ripley, the Rosé Center, OAP, SDC, and then also a little bit of extra information about GSG. So before we get rolling and underway with that stuff, we're a very small, intimate group. The format for it, what should really be, is to just have the organization. They will have a couple of minutes to say just here's what we are, here's the services that we offer, and then with time for you guys to ask any and all questions that you may have about that particular organization, and then on to the next one. So with that, let's just go ahead and go around. We can say name, department, and then PhD or master's student. So I'll start off again. So I'm Jacob, in case you're awful with names like I am, Jacob. So for me, I'm from the Mathematical Sciences Department in my third year for PhD studies. And I leave it to you guys for who wants to go next or first.
I'm Kazim. I'm from Mathematical Science Department, PhD first year.
I'm Yash Naidu, doing Masters in Mechanical Engineering, first year.
I'm Jordan Ewing, first year Geophysics PhD.
Divya Pandya, I'm first year PhD student in Mechanical Engineering.
Okay, awesome, cool. Glad to see that we have a spectrum of departments offered. Really cool. So I will also make a public disclaimer announcement for, we were supposed to have snacks today, and I promise the order was put into catering, and I promise catering confirmed the order for everything, but they sadly confirmed it and scheduled it for tomorrow. So if for whatever reason you want to show up tomorrow at this time, there will be snacks. And at all future academic seminars, I promise there will be snacks. You can hold me to that, or you can show up, just peer into the room and yell at me if there's not snacks, if you want to on that point. But we will have refreshments at all future ones. My sincerest apologies that we do not have that today. So since we are still an intimate group, thank you for going ahead and introducing each other. Do you guys, I'm just going to ask it this way. We're a small enough group so we can ask. Do you like icebreakers or not like icebreakers? I have to warn you, I teach, so I'm used to asking questions and waiting with awkward silences for things. Icebreakers, yay or nay? You can be brutally honest. You are not going to hurt my feelings.
Yay!
Okay, that's one yay.
Depends on the icebreaker itself.
Actually, I don't know what is icebreaker.
So an icebreaker is just, it is some sort of an activity to try to help get a discussion flowing or people to kind of know or get more comfortable with each other in a group, is the goal of it.
Kind of discussion.
Let's give it a shot.
Potentially discussions, potentially not. Okay, so icebreaker, gonna give it a shot. Do you want to describe or do you want me to describe?
You do have a go.
Okay, so we have half sheets of paper on your table for you. If you could each all go ahead and grab one, please. And what we're going to do is at your table, please go ahead and take 30 seconds or so. Write down one interesting fact about yourself. Presumably none of you know each other outside of this event already, right? If you knew each other outside of the event, don't make it a fact that the other person wouldn't know. But just take 30 seconds, think about a fun, interesting fact about yourself, your most fun or exciting fact, whatever that may be to you. You can go ahead and write it down on the piece of paper.
So we're going to be
I'm modifying it. Or if you guys want to go ahead and follow them, or I don't remember who's doing it, but feel free to follow that. We're just going to all do it in the
Oh, wallet.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Sweet. Thank you.
So take a couple more minutes to go ahead and finish up. And then once you have it, just to let me know that you have your fact figured out, you can go ahead and crinkle it up into a ball. No, wait. And then all that we're going to go ahead and do is feel free to just add yours into the center.
You're being unique.
All right. So we've all written a fun fact about ourselves. So Ray volunteered to go ahead and draw one first. The name of the game is you get to go ahead and grab one of the balls to uncrinkle it, and then you have to guess whose random fun fact is whose.
All right.
So
I'll go first.
all right.
That's fine. Let's see.
Also, this is Jeet, by the way.
I'm Jeet.
You don't know.
I have jumped off a hotel from my 21st birthday. Are you kidding me? I was like, really? Which floor? I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Maybe?
Yep.
All right, which
Jumped
floor?
off of a floor.
It was off a hotel. It was the Stratosphere in Las Vegas.
Okay.
They basically do rapid deceleration jumps. So you can jump off, and it's like 50 stories tall, I think.
Damn,
So you
wow.
can just jump off, and it's you strap to a cord, and they'll just slow you down right at the end, so you don't hit the ground.
Great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very,
It's
very
fun.
impressive.
Bungee jumping.
What?
Like a bungee jumping.
Yeah, yeah, essentially bungee jumping, just without springing back up. So,
All right,
yeah.
that's good. That must be so awesome.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Good guess. We're one for one. Who's next?
Yes.
Okay.
So what is the fact that you have?
I came to Amazon rainforest.
So somebody has been hiking through the Amazon rainforest then. And it's your responsibility to guess who.
Do others get the chance?
Somebody else wants to. Sure, somebody else wants to.
I want to vote for
Second.
Jacob.
Okay. What do you guys think? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Probably,
I'll
yeah.
pick you up. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, it is me. For the record, I'm quite proud of myself for not smiling immediately as he read it. I had an awful poker game, but yes, I have been hiking in the Amazon for
Yeah, you can.
in my
Yeah, same here.
experience.
So
Yep.
the next is I speak 5 languages and play 3 musical instruments.
Yeah.
Is it you, cousin?
Nope.
No, sorry.
All right.
5 languages.
I think I want to guess again. If you know it already, it's cheating.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I
Oh.
seriously didn't see. But I guess it's you.
All right. Yep. It is me. I can.
I'm free on
I can
three.
speak 5 languages.
Sure.
So maybe some French, some Japanese. I can then let go of my
Yeah, Hindi, English.
Yep. These two. I'm Marathi, so I speak like 5 languages, and I play some keyboards. I play violin, and I play this instrument called tabla. So.
Wow.
And I promise we didn't try to have us two at the top of it. So next one.
Yeah.
Playing cricket, and then I cannot read that word. Flirting.
Yeah. Flirting.
Playing cricket, flirting.
Flirting. Okay.
I guess playing cricket, flirting. I'm gonna guess. You. Yeah. What is this word?
Yeah.
Flirting. Just I was trying to write like flirting with girls.
Oh, flirting with. Gotcha. There it is. We don't know it's girls. You didn't write that.
Yeah.
But I just like playing soccer.
Is that what you wrote?
We play soccer games.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I have. What's this one that I love playing soccer game. Was that also?
Yeah, that's me.
So,
Okay, that was
someone else
just a game.
apparently wrote
That's another person.
Oh, like playing soccer.
No, mine is
Two people
soccer.
like soccer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh really? Wow, that is interesting. Wow.
You both
Yeah, right,
right.
almost it.
And you guys have not met before?
No,
you
we
haven't
haven't
played
met
together.
before, no.
There's a soccer club that.
Yes.
You're part of the
Yes,
community
every
there is.
Saturday.
Oh.
You must join in that club, right? What's that group?
Yes, you can go to Facebook and follow Michigan Tech's men's soccer club, and we all come and play there. Michigan Tech men's soccer club. Yep. Just Google it in Facebook. Not Google it, but search it in Facebook. Google it in Facebook.
Game?
Yep.
Game pass?
Oh
No.
no, we play. Yeah, and if you want to play on Xbox or what is the other one? PlayStation. Yeah. Then there are people who does that. Unfortunately, I do not know, but there are people. I'm more prone on playing on the computer, on a keyboard. I grew up with that, so.
I mean, that is interesting because I mean, if there's 2 people out of like 8 who have the same
Hobby.
interest,
Yeah, interest.
there
Yeah.
has to be more representation.
I'm guessing this is yours.
Obviously, you don't have to open that.
I do now. Let's see. I like flirting with girls.
That's not.
Just kidding. That's not yours. I remember
By the way,
each
for this
and
group, I sent
every behavior people towards
It was
Yeah.
pending like 1 month ago.
each and
Oh,
every
it is. Then I am
behavior
not so
Yeah.
sure
of
who is
people.
running that group.
I think I missed it actually. Oh wow.
He remembers each and every behavior someone transports in.
All right. Interesting. Okay.
So, thank you for being here. What's your name again?
All right. Okay. That was the one icebreaker.
Love
Now I think we know each other a little bit better than we did before, and we have our first speaker. So
Yay.
I'm gonna take these away from. Lay out of the way. If you can just pass me those two as well.
So,
Did you?
Okay.
so,
Thank you.
all right. So, icebreaker, yay or nay, good experience, bad experience, and good. Good. Mostly overall. All right. Well, it is my pleasure to go ahead and introduce to you guys Asa, who is here from Mount Ripley, and I will turn it over to him.
How's it going, guys?
So far, so
Good. I'm looking forward to the rain to start turning to snow. So yeah, are you first years here? Okay. So the university owns the ski hill, and I'm sure you've seen it. Maybe you haven't been there yet, but it's yours to use. You're already kind of paying for it with your student activity fee, and we like to say it's ski for fee, I guess. Free. So yeah, we cater to you guys, so we're only open during the week from 3 to 9, or a little earlier on Friday. Weekends we're open a lot longer. And then we have PE classes too. So if you want to learn to ski or snowboard or telemark, which is your heel is free on your skis, you can come and do that and get class credit for it, I guess. I don't have a lot to show you really, but this is last year's brochure. We're updating our new one. Yeah, so this is like a thing for you to do and check out school, come play, have fun. A big thing we do, let's see, end of January, we call it International Day simply, and it's for you guys and anybody really to sign up. It's a cheap, you pay 20, 25 bucks total for a lesson, your rental equipment, your lift ticket's already included, whether for student, and lunch. And that's, I don't know, like a couple hundred students are there for that, and it's a fun, crazy day. Do you guys have any questions at all?
How much is it to rent skis?
So, right, that's not included in your activity fees, so I mean, it's a cost. I think the rates in there are staying the same. 30, I think where your right hand is, right on the bottom.
Right on. Yep, 33 for a full day, 27 for a half.
Yep, that's all staying the same. You can do a season rental for 180, so I know it's an expense, but that means we keep the equipment, but your name's on the list and it's available for you anytime.
There's no limit to how much you use it either.
Not
Great.
at all. No.
Okay, great.
No.
Seasonal equipment, like for a month or for a two.
For the whole winter, from when we open to the very end.
So what's the duration of that?
So the earliest we project to open is usually early December, so the first weekend of December.
Okay.
As soon as we can make snow, we'll be making snow. So to add to the 300 inches that we got of natural snow last year, we'll make many more feet of it just to maintain our base and extend our season. But yeah, from early December all the way through the end of March. Once you, I don't know if you guys leave for spring break much, early March, but our numbers really start to decline from there, so not open quite as frequently.
After March.
I think spring break starts for you March 8th, so our hours do get limited after that. But we're still open every weekend until the
So, besides obviously the rentals of that, obviously the lift's free and stuff like that.
You just have to show your student ID, so you all have an ID card. If you come to our ticket office, show our ID, you swipe it, and then we give you a lift ticket.
Okay, going there is free, but hiring the equipment we have to pay.
You do, yes. There is a cost for that just because.
That's what we have to pay, 33, 27.
Now, I know the Rosa Center does it. You can get like a free guest to come with you. Is that true for also Mount Ripley?
Yeah, there's some specific days for that, I guess. I'm not sure what they are.
Okay. Just wanted to check before I showed up and, they said, oh, no, you have to pay. You
Yeah,
can't get in for free.
I guess I'd have to confirm that before
Right.
I my over is.
Okay. I just wanted to see. So
Yeah,
Is it safe?
well,
stick with the bunny hill, man.
yeah. We promote safety, so we equip you with the helmet too, and we start you pretty not aggressively at all. It's all at your own pace, whether you're learning on your own or with an instructor. But of course, there is an element of risk involved. You're sliding down. Hopefully, it's a softer day, but some of these, when the snow is hard packed, it can be pretty brutal. I don't know, for lack of a better word. But yeah, I mean, it's all a lot of fun.
So if there is a snowstorm, you can't ski, right?
We encourage, we welcome
Encourage,
snowstorms.
well.
We want snowstorms. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We only close if it's too windy, I guess. Then the lifts, if we're bringing guests up to the top on the ski lift, that's dangerous for us to have people 40, 50 feet up in the air. Otherwise, we're open. If there's nobody there for whatever reason for many hours because the weather's miserable, then we might close. But when it's 0 degrees, and I mean, that's sometimes the best skiing if there's snow. So I grow my beard out. I lost my hair up top. And I stay warm. And so like dressing for the weather, that's I don't know if you've experienced winter weather before. Even if you haven't, this is like next level. Next level winters.
Yeah.
So yeah, layering, wisely. Definitely have a hat and gloves. Your extremities get cold first. And being smart about it.
So at the actual main building office, if we wanted to bring, like, let's say I wanted to go for the whole day, am I able to bring some like food, like a meal, like lunch or something, and keep it there, or
Yeah,
you know, or do I have to leave and come back?
that's fine. You can definitely bring your own food. We don't, I guess, rent out lockers to lock stuff up. So this is a small community, and we don't really encounter issues with that.
Right.
There's a cafe.
Oh, there's a cafe?
Yep,
Okay, well that's
yep.
fine.
There's some food there. Burgers and nachos and candy bars. Enough and French fries to keep you satisfied at least a little bit. We just, the cafe is run by the MUB, and so the dining services, they just discourage like huge crock pots, but that can be arranged if you're having some kind of event. We can have a different area for that. Cool. Like we do on International Day, so that's the whole thing. We're in a separate building for that.
So before the spring break, so is it every day or only during the weekends?
We're open every day. Once we open,
Timings for that.
It's all right.
It's the first week of December. Or
we hope so. That's
Uh-huh.
usually, we try to shoot for Thanksgiving,
what?
but that's upon Mother Nature if it allows it. And like last year, we had a pretty successful start. We opened up with a lot of the hill. A couple of years prior to that, it was just our small beginner run for the first couple of weeks because it wasn't cold enough to make snow and we didn't have a lot of snow itself. So it took a while to get the hill together.
And shuttle services will be there now.
Shuttle services, so that's through the university and transportation. That runs during PE class, I guess, so from mid-January through the end of March, through the end of February. Then I've had some challenges what department pays for shuttle services. And I know that can be somewhat of a challenge to get over there. It is available, and I'm sure you can call the shuttle service itself if you plan a specific time and they can scoop you up. Most people get a ride from the MUB right here, and they have plenty of room for people.
So I'm going to quickly
Yeah.
interject if that's okay. So first of all, let's thank Asa for being here briefly. And if you are available still in your schedule and want to continue to hang out, that would be wonderful. Or if you have other things, we also understand. But thank you for taking the time
Sure.
to be here. If they had additional questions, so I went ahead and I
Oh,
swiped your
perfect.
email.
Yeah.
So feel free to go ahead and jot that down quickly for in case Asa can't hang out to be able to forward any additional questions. And then otherwise, let's go ahead and give an official thank you to speaker number 1 for today. So thank you for being here. You're welcome to continue to hang around. You don't have to stay standing. Feel free to grab a seat if you would like
Okay.
to as well.
I'll have a seat for a few minutes.
And then I'm going to go ahead and invite our other speaker that we have here. We have Becca from Student Services, and I just need to go reversed. Okay, and then feel free to just let me know. I'll be your slide changer for
Okay,
you.
let's do it.
Perfect.
So I'm here from Student Activities. This is kind of your opportunity to get involved on campus. We like to say we're the office where you'll find everything that isn't in the classroom in terms of learning. So we have different segments that you can see, student organizations,
And
traditions, as well as leadership and other services. So this is our office. We're a very small group of people, but we do quite a bit here on campus. We have our director, Jesse Stapleton, as well as myself and another coordinator, and then Penny is our office assistant. So we really do try to cover a lot of different areas with just 4 people. We did a survey across campus here at Michigan Tech about a year ago to see how much getting involved affects student life and preparing you for once you leave here and getting your jobs outside of campus and your future careers. And we found that 77% of graduate students felt that they were prepared and they gained skills that helped them in their future career. So that's a very high percentage, even more than the undergraduate students that we have here on campus. So we really do try to help you get involved and hone those skills to work after you leave this area. As well as our traditions. So we have multiple traditions that we have here on campus. They happen annually, depending on what they are. We have various events that go on, or one big event. So I'll start with it's a full week of events. I'll start with our first one, which is Welcome Week. This is our tradition to welcome you back on campus. I'm not sure if you found on the first week of classes that we had people outside close to that Memorial Union building either handing out snacks or binders. You might have grabbed one yourself. That is all part of Welcome Week. That's part of what we do in our office to just welcome you back and start back here on campus with the right foot. And as you can see, this last year we had a whole schedule of events. There was cookouts, as well as working with different club sports on campus, even having Career Fair have their career kickoff. So it's a full week that we pack a lot of things into. We like to end it with Q&A Day. So Q&A Day, go to the next one. Q&A Day is kind of our student involvement fair. There's usually a theme involved, and we usually try to ask students to leave campus to see not only the local area, but to see different student organizations you can get involved in. We usually have about 175 student organizations that are there ready to talk to you about how to get involved. And so this last year we went to Chassell Centennial Park. We usually try to have buses that leave them up. I know this last year we've gotten some feedback, so we're going to have more buses next year to really try to get everyone out there and meeting all of the returning students as well as the new students on campus. It's a really, even if you've been here for a while and you want to look at different organizations, this is a good chance. There's usually fun, music, food. It's a great time. One of our other initiatives or our traditions is late night programming. So we kind of look to see what's going on campus, and if there's little gaps here and there, we try to fill them with our late night programming. So this is kind of what started off as an alcohol-free initiative that turned into just bringing different programming here on campus. So if you look at the next slide, here's our schedule. This Saturday, you'll see that we have a hypnotist coming to campus. So that usually starts either later at the night. So this weekend it's at 9 o'clock. So definitely look into that because it's free. So it's part of our initiative to have a free event. And then we have one coming, comedian coming in November and another one coming in December. So they're just kind of keep an eye out for we try to do these every multiple ones at least once a month. And so look out for our spring semester lineup if you can't go to these. It's a great time. Homecoming. If you noticed, about 2 weeks ago we had Homecoming Week. So Homecoming Week has what traditional other universities do with homecoming. There's a football game, there's a king and a queen or a royalty announced, depending we're gender neutral royalty on campus here. But one of the things that we like to talk about is these cardboard boats. So if you had a chance to go see it, student organizations make boats that float out of cardboard and duct tape. And I say float in air quotes because a lot of them don't actually float. They usually sink. And it's entertaining either way to see them float and to see them sink. So keep an eye out for that next year. We just had this happen. Usually the weather is kind of like this when it happens, so we try to have it as early in the semester as possible. And so looking at ways to get involved on campus, we have many student organizations here that have many different things that you can get involved with. So we have about 250 student organizations. We have everything from, Sasquatch Finding Club, I don't know if you know what that is, to community service initiative clubs, to social clubs. We have them all housed and listed on involvement.mtu.edu. So if you're looking for something specific, or if you're looking for, you just want to look for a social club, you can search based off of that type of generic search bar. So definitely look at that list, because I could try to name all 242 to you right now, but that would be a really long time, and I don't think I have enough time for that. So, and if we don't have an organization that you're interested in and looking at starting one, it's actually pretty simple. There's different steps that you can follow to start a new org. basically you need yourself and 9 other friends, and then you need to find an advisor that works on campus either as a faculty or a staff member, and then we'll work with you and our office will help you try to establish that organization on campus. So that's something that if we don't have it, look into creating. We also have fraternity and sorority life here on campus. We have 19 organizations, 12 fraternities, so that's the men, and then 7 sororities, which is the women. So they do a lot on our campus in terms of philanthropy or community service as well as scholarships. So you might see people with the Greek letters on them. So that's part of our fraternity and sorority life. Those are the ones listed.
Sorry.
Oh, those are the ones in plain English if you were interested in looking into them. Husky Leads. So we have different leadership initiatives here on campus. Husky Leads are these hour-long sessions that we put together that are low impact. If you want to come and learn a new skill, we have one coming up October 23rd that talks about conflict management. So like I said, it's just a 1-hour session that you can go to, have a presentation. Sometimes we have food there, so I know food and free is usually something that people like to hear. So if you want to come and elevate your leadership skills, then that's something to look into. Leadership is more of our intensive program. It's a week-long program that we go down to the Ford Center where they have forestry, and we have about 60 participants that learn about their leadership skills as well as how to work in a team. It's a very long, intensive program, so if you don't have the time, it's something to, but if you do, it's something to look into. So this happens in January. In the next slide, it's January 7th through the 12th. So that's the last week of our winter break here on campus. And that's pretty, something that happens pretty consistent every year during that week. And then community service on campus. We like to get you involved and help out the communities that you have chosen to come to. It's all not just Michigan Tech. We have, as you can see, some pretty gorgeous areas. Not today, because it's rainy and cold, but usually it's pretty gorgeous if it's nice and sunny. So if you're looking into trying to volunteer for things, there's a email list that you can sign up for. If you want to sign up for that email list, let me know and I can put you on there. And then one way that you could get involved right now, we are currently planning Make a Difference Day. This is happening Saturday, October 20th, so about 2 weeks from now. You can register. You can even register with a group of friends or with GSG or whomever, and we will put you together and send you to a site in the area to help either rake leaves or sometimes it's just kind of cleaning up a home or something of that nature. So it's kind of a nice way to give back to the community, and it's just a one-day thing. It starts at 9 o'clock and it usually ends around like 1 or 2. So it's a nice way to give back for one day, and we usually have about 600 students participating, everywhere from undergrads to graduates, and then we also get faculty and staff that participate. So it's a really great way to give back for one day and see that a lot of other people are doing it once, so you can really see the impact it has in our area. So looking at statistics again, everyone likes statistics. This is based off of that survey I spoke to earlier. It's a really high percentage of students that find that once they're involved on campus here, they have higher self-confidence, time management, they're able to work in a team better, and they can communicate and hone their leadership skills in a higher way. So something to consider, as you're going through as a graduate student and then looking for jobs after. So ways to get involved, please look at our website. It's studentactivities.mtu.edu. I believe it's on here. Check out involvement link to look at all of those organizations that we have. They're quite an extensive list. Next year, if you're still around, attend K-Day, or even look to attend a student organization meeting. They're really great about letting you come and see what they're all about. Participate in all our traditions, and really come to our late night events because it's just a fun thing to do. Like I said, we have one on Saturday. If not, stop by our office and come talk to us if you have any further questions. And then if you do have any, this is our email that goes to everyone we have in our office. It's activities@mtu.edu. So that gets checked by at least one of us probably every hour. So yeah, that's a great way to get your questions answered. Do you have any questions for me right now?
Yeah. For the community service, where can we find the link to
So if you go back a couple slides actually to the community service one right there. If you search Husky helpers on mtu.edu's website, that'll get you to how to sign up for our list, for email list. Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, let's at least be sure to say thank you to Becca for coming in and sharing all the wonderful things that student activities offers to us Huskies here on campus. So are there any other, so just as I guess a quick final call, are there any other questions for Becca? Okay, are there other questions for Asa? I'm going to put him back on the spot potentially just to see.
The comedy night and the hypnotist, I've done to them in the past. They're pretty awesome. The hypnotist is scary. I'm sure it's not the same one. But
As if you're getting hypnotized by
right, but on stage it's like, what's going on?
Were you on stage for
No,
the
no.
Or you got to watch the people going on
I
stage?
did.
Okay.
I was here when Wayne Brady, he's a comedian. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I remember him
I-
from Who's Line.
Exactly. Yeah. From Who's Line. He went through my aisle and like put my hat on, and it was part of his skit. I don't know. And then he did it in reverse, so it was pretty fun. Good night.
We usually try to get like musicians and other things like that in there too. So magicians, hypnotists, and comedians are the big ones. Variety.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys both for being here and sharing some stuff. If you guys have further questions, you've got emails for other things, so feel free to utilize those and definitely ask questions. And if you hear any helpful tips that we missed in the seminar, let us know, so if we do this again, we can make sure to offer them. So thank you guys again. We can do one more round of applause.
Thanks for having us.
Next up that I'm going to call is actually Minaj, for you to go ahead and come up and talk about GSG social events. So I'm just going to turn over the floor to him, and Apurva, I'm going to turn over the computer to you for cameo stuff, and I will be right back for everybody. So.
All right. So my name is Ninad. I am the social committee chair at GSG. Me and my team, what we do is we basically organize these social events on campus. We want to kind of help this close community basically. So like if there are like any experiences which we think you should have, we try and organize events that you can have those activities. Just go ahead. Like for example, so here's like a list of all the activities that we have planned for this year. For now, there's this fall color trip that is happening this weekend. Unfortunately, the seats are full and we have like a wait list for it. But this is a trip where we would go to this place called Lake of the Clouds, which is like Rockman Mountain State Park. And as you can see, this is like it's like a gorgeous place. You've got all the colors, and you can kind of go and check this out basically. So there's like we usually have food or snacks for this event. So one of the ways to sign up for this event is that if you haven't already, you can check out like our account on Facebook or Instagram. That's where we will be having our sign up sheets basically. So from there you can make sure that you can sign up for all of these events. So the next that we have planned.
By the way, according to the previous trip, I believe that I didn't receive any email.
Yes.
About, this trip.
So this is primarily sent out on Facebook and Instagram, and we already had the seats filled out, which was the reason that an email, a crash student invite email was.
So you think you have a Facebook page?
Correct.
Yes.
We have a Facebook page, an Instagram page. So if you guys check it out, basically we also post some cool stuff on our social media pages. We usually post interviews on our page as well. So they are big pages. So
we're just trying to balance out things between sending out emails, and at times people are flooded with emails. So we're just thinking, like, oh, well, this is a social thing, so let's put it out on social media. And
So what is the page name?
graduate student government.
Yeah, just look up GST on either Facebook or Instagram. You'll find our social media pages. Yeah.
So there's only one trip?
Yes.
So the fall colors, yes. For now.
Yeah, they're probably not going to be around much past this weekend.
Yeah.
It's already leaving.
Yeah. The weather is. I mean, yeah. This year is just raining all the time. So it's I don't know. All right. So the next trip that we have planned is around Halloween. So the weekend before Halloween is when we have this trip to this called Maze, which is like in the area. We usually have a bus and we take you guys there, and it's like a fun evening basically. So we'll have more details on the social media pages soon, about these events. Laser tag. This is one of our most popular events. We have this arena in Horton. So we usually have a day where we take students over there and we have fun. I mean, laser tag. So it's fun, right? So it's also fun. It's free. So we also have some snacks or some food over there as well. It's always a fun event. So this time it is going to be around that weekend. Basically, these dates are currently completely fixed, but we'll be posting them on our social media pages as we go ahead. And then so this is one thing that I personally think that you should try out. If you haven't already, snowshoeing is when you have a lot of snow on the ground. You get to wear snowshoes. They're just shoes with a wider area, and you basically walk on trails in the snow. It's fun. It's like a whole new experience, especially if you haven't. So we have that planned for the first week of December. This depends on whether or not we get enough snow. I know that 2 years ago it was almost, we didn't have, it was it's actually less snow basically. So if we can't have that, there's less snow. So again, all the details will be posted on social media for this as well. These are the events for the fall semester, and then the spring semester, we in the third week of class, I think we'll have our event for bowling. This will be in Mine Shaft, as in Horton again. So it's just some bowling and some snacks and all of that basically. So share of the good stuff. This is also one of the more popular events by GST. So this is a bit standard actually. This is we do serve chili on the day of the winter carnival. Throughout the day, it's fun usually because it's so cold outside and you can get a warm bowl of chili, so it's always good. And then laser tag again because we see how much you like it. So this is gonna be second event as well. It's gonna be in the last week of March. The same thing as the fall event, and then we have the end of year picnic. It doesn't snow usually, but forgot to change the photo sense. Anyway, so we'll have basically this chance where you can. So we have some food basically, and you can. It's like a social event basically. You can talk to your friends and it's just like a social event where you can talk. You have music and all of that. So there's a list on the next page. It's so this is not an exclusive list. We do have some more things in the. We're still we're still thinking of with events to add basically. If you have any ideas about some of the events which you would love to see, us the next slide as well. So if you have suggestions, please let me know. If you have any ideas for events, we can definitely try and make it work through GSG.
any putt-putt around here?
Sorry, what?
Putt-putt, mini golf?
We have a golf course. Mini golf, I'm not sure about, but we should have a golf course.
I mean, I didn't think there was one in the area. I figured, I mean, it's a low-cost thing.
Right.
You know, even if you guys made one through GSG, you know, it'd be initial startup, but past that, you can pretty much do it anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We can definitely look into it. / see if there's any around, or if that's a good idea. I'll talk to the golf course to see if they can have mini golf as well.
One more suggestion. A second golf, second fall trip.
Oh
yeah.
second. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
See the colors.
So yeah, we can definitely try to fit one. The only thing is that, I mean, like this weekend is supposed to be one of the last weekends where you'll actually see a lot of liquid colors. It's supposed to go down from here. But yeah, I mean, it's a good. So we would love to have more people like over the trip. So.
So where does we go on that trip? Where do we go on that trip?
So the one that we have planned, like it goes to this place which is called Lake of the Clouds. It's about like 1.5 hours away from here to the south. That's where like you have the lake basically, and we go to this there's like a small hike as well in the area, and then we can also go to the point from where we took the photo, which was the one that we saw on the slides before. Yeah, it's like 1.5 hours away, but it's beautiful. I don't know if we'll be able to plan the same trip to the same location again, if at all, but we'll definitely see if we can have one more fall color trip, maybe someplace north, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to fit it, you know. But yeah, but it's a good suggestion to have.
Or maybe just increase the number of students, you know.
Right, yeah, so we'll definitely try it out. I'm not sure how it works with the number of buses that we have
Catch
around.
the colors at Copper Harbor too.
Yeah.
If you're planning on going yourself this weekend, you could probably just drive up to Copper Harbor, and they have that whole road just littered with trees that you could see all the colors there.
Exactly.
On that note, I was just going to say, if you have a friend or you that has a car, the Keweenaw Peninsula is a great place to just get in your car and drive around the perimeter of the Keweenaw to see the colors of the leaves and Lake Superior. You can make your own color tour happen. Also, Lake of the Clouds, you don't need to just go when there's the colors. You can go just at any normal time. It is the most photographed lake in Michigan, I believe, actually. Fun fact, something along those lines. It's gorgeous. I've been there, not even with the colors, and it was totally worth it. Totally just to say. So.
Yep.
Even if you just walk around here enough, you'll see enough of the colors to.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely have enough trees here and up here.
Sure. Yeah.
Is there a golf event? An actual like scramble or something like that? Get a team of so many and you just
go golfing.
Yeah.
We don't have one right now, but we can definitely look into it and see if we can make it work, because we have it's a good solution to have. See if we can actually do that. Sure. Yeah, it's a good idea.
I mean, and then one more, maybe a bingo night, even for like a cold weekend. That would be cheap, easy, and then you guys could have little prizes or something.
Absolutely, that's something that we definitely we're doing basically. Like filler events. That's a good idea. Sure.
I'm sorry, I missed that idea. What
golf
Bingo
event?
night.
Bingo night.
Bingo night.
We already have the.
You have all the supplies.
Yes, we have. We just have to have the night, so we can definitely have that.
Easy. Yeah. And we said a golf thing too.
Yeah.
Maybe like a golf trip. Not mini golf, but regular golf. Yeah.
I'm
ahead of the game.
Let's go.
Ahead of the game.
Any other suggestions? We really appreciate this kind of input, because from our positions, we're always trying to come up with events. We can come up with lots of great ideas, but the hard part is making sure to get students, that it's an activity good enough that students want to get out of their office to come to. So if you have any other suggestions, it's not speak now or forever hold your peace. It's speak now or email GSG Social for social events. so that way I can keep track of any of that stuff.
The escape room was good too, that you guys had. That was a good event. I just think you need more slots or something like that.
Escape
So
rooms, yeah.
people can do that. Escape rooms are always fun.
Cool. Or any other suggestions?
You have any suggestions? Like I met Apurva, he's the president of GSG.
Trivia night. Always cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Then you can win free prizes.
And can have some food for that too. So
Exactly.
it'll be yeah.
They would definitely come out and get them.
Well then, let's go ahead and thank Ninad for his time and his presentation for talking about civil committee stuff today.
Thanks so much.
And then that concludes your slave labor portion of this presentation. So thanks for letting us pool you for some ideas. We appreciate it. Next, what we're going to go ahead and do is we have Brady here from OAP. Oops, I'm just going to go ahead and call up.
Perfect.
Come on up.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
My name's Brady. On the count of three, if you can all say your names. 1, 2, 3.
Jacob.
Perfect. Now I know all you guys. I'm here representing the OAP. Does anybody know what the OAP is?
The little house across the street, right?
Yeah, nailed it. So the OAP stands for Outdoor Adventure Program. And so we're located right across from the library, right next to public safety. And we're just an outdoor, as a program, it's just initiative to get students out. So primarily what we serve as is a rental center. So we rent all sorts of gear you might ever need. If you want to go hiking or backpacking, we have all the gear, tents, sleeping bags, anything to keep you warm, cook stoves, stuff to make food. Additionally, we do kayaks and canoes. So any sort of gear you need for that, gear to take out, gear to rent, safety equipment as well. We're associated with a lot of the different outdoor clubs as well, like the ski and snowboard club and rock climbing. So if you're involved or want to learn more about those things, the OAP is a great place to come in and get info. And then for winter stuff, we do snowshoes is a big thing we do as well, which is fun to kind of get out and be involved because it's very easy to sit in the winter and just be secluded and do nothing. But in addition to being a rental center, we also do trips and events. So a big thing that we do, in the fall we have a big 10-mile paddle race we host that goes from breakers all the way into the bridge, which is a lot of fun. There's a NAR event, which is an extreme kind of challenge, like a man's man type of race where you have to split wood partway through it and do some three-legged races like up the face of Ripley. So there's a lot of different things we do. Kind of some of the upcoming events we have a log rolling competition we're going to down in Purdue. Does anybody know what log rolling is? Any chance we can pull up a photo real quick, just on Google? And so I actually just if you type in key log, yep, and then just go to images, will probably be all we need. Maybe a space between. Key log rolling. This will do it.
There we go.
Perfect. So this is what log rolling is. I actually currently teach a class. It's a gym class right now. Log rolling, which is a ton of fun. And so we go up in the pool and we put these different yellow paddles on there that help to slow it down. When you get crazy advanced, you go with no paddles. But it's a lot of fun. And so we currently do evening sessions from 8 to 10 p.m. Up in the pool. And some of those are posted. You can email the OAP or follow us on Facebook and we'll let you know when that stuff goes on. And then on October 27th, we're actually going down to Purdue to kind of compete. It's more like a fun competition because no one's incredibly good at it.
The pool closes at 9 p.m., right?
Correct, unless you reserve it.
Okay.
And so we've reserved it, and so it's open from 8 to 10 p.m.
Every day?
Just on the days we do these events. And so I actually we can pass these around. These are kind of info sessions we have open log rolling, and we also have kayaking skills clinics currently. If you're interested in learning more about how to kayak or safety, like the safety precautions when kayaking occurs. So it's just a little bit there. And then I have another sheet also that kind of speaks to the gear we rent. So it has different kind of our rental prices for the different gear of the OAP. So currently our biggest events that are on the horizon are this log rolling tournament we have, and then we have come in the winter, around Winter Carnival, we do a Bigfoot glow shoe. So it's a snowshoe event that occurs up at the Michigan Tech Trails, and we put glow sticks all out in the woods and just get people set up with all the glow gear they need and go snowshoe a fun track in the middle of winter at nighttime. Are there any questions about other events we do or questions about?
When's the glow shoe?
The glow shoe is during Winter Carnival. I believe it's the Friday. Might be Thursday night of Winter Carnival.
Okay.
But a great way to stay in touch with the OAP and hear more about the events we're doing, or say like these log rolling clinics, is if you follow us on Facebook. We always are pretty diligent in posting that with a good advance notice of what to do, what to look out for.
Are you guys associated with the Venture Club?
We are not.
Okay.
We are, the OAP kind of reaches out to a lot of those groups,
Gotcha.
and we're in touch with them. So if you, the best way to kind of hear more about what they're doing is just kind of
With them, yeah.
with them directly.
That's fine.
But we help out different organizations too, like the ski club, or this year we're taking over the Nordic Club.
Okay.
So helping out with some of the rentals that they do for Nordic skiing up at the Tech Trails all winter long as well.
Nice.
So a plug for them is if you're trying to get out this winter, if you join their club for $10, you get unlimited free rentals for cross-country ski gear all winter long.
But you do kayaking in the swimming pool.
We do. And we do it, so it's a skills clinic, so you get to learn more about the skills of kayaking, also some of the safety measures, and in some extreme scenarios, if you're kayaking with a skirt, it's like a neoprene part that goes from your waist and goes over the lip of the boat. So when you flip upside down, you can learn how to roll back right side and water doesn't fill the boat.
Okay, what is clinic, $5 per clinic? Is it per session?
Yes, per session.
Really, you can get most of it in the first one. They'll tell you all the basics, probably. At least the one that I went to.
Yep.
They covered a lot of what you needed in just one session. So you don't really have to repeat it every single time unless you want to work at developing those skills like hardcore. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very good introductory session. You can come and learn the basic skills of kayaking, but then, like you said, you can take it as far as you want to learn some more of the extreme measures.
Do you know how long you're going to be doing? So I'm curious about the kayaks and canoes. Like, how long is that going to be going? Because I know winter's coming. So
yeah, that's a good question. We typically finalize, or we stop renting kayaks and canoes about the end of October. It's kind of weather dependent, if the weather really turns and it becomes consistently, say, 30 degrees out.
yeah, then obviously.
But kind of the baseline for that is usually about there's 40 degrees every day forecasted, that's kind of when we start to cut boats. So we have a week, maybe two left in boat rental season.
Okay.
Same with mountain bikes as well. We rent mountain bikes and gear for that.
When it stops raining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Any other questions about what we do or some of the services we offer?
So what is the size of the backpack that you have? How big are they?
They're full, like kind of trip size bags. I think they're 55 liter packs. Is what we have. So everything you need to go on an extended trip. So. And then I guess similar to kind of bouncing off what you guys were doing before, are there any other ideas or trips or events, things you guys might have interest in or would like to see, whether that be biking or the OAP leading camping trips? Anything you guys have in your mind that I wish somebody was organizing this for me?
I like the camping one through OAP. That sounds like a lot of fun. Do you know if there's any like caving ones that you could do? I don't know if there's like caves around here or not, but like, spelunking obviously is like a fun one to do, but even like going to a cave, staying the night in the cave.
That's a killer idea since there's a lot of mines up here.
Right.
You can do like live tours, but in terms of like the caving aspect,
Yeah.
I think we have to get certain like permissions potentially, because I know there's some lines, maybe the Adventure Club might even be able to key you in.
Okay.
There's 5 or 6 easily accessible mines up in the Keno. You can just go in and explore yourself.
That'd be nice.
But obviously they can get very dangerous very quick if you.
Yeah. I don't want to go myself, obviously, because I've never been in these mines before, and I don't want to try to stay the night in one, obviously, if I'm not with
A crew.
a crew, that knows what they're doing. So
Yeah, I like that idea. I'll have to talk to our group.
bunch of
about
glow
that.
sticks, throw them around, nice little cave. I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
That's a killer idea.
Or even if OAP can't organize it, would there be a way to do an info session about it or anything like that?
Yeah.
As another alternative. I don't know if info sessions would require a permit process or
Yeah. For sure.
Maybe even just like a canoeing camping trip of some sort. Like, I know you can rent all the stuff, but maybe have like a day be like, okay, you sign up, we're ready to go. All the stuff, we'll have a way of transporting these boats instead of someone having to bring their own car and everything. Just like we're going to go for a night trip. We'll go out to an island, camp there, come back. It's a little cold now, but if there was a group going, I'd feel a lot more comfortable than just myself in a car with all this stuff. It's just, yeah.
Exactly.
And then what would ideally for you guys be the best way to hear about that? Because every now and again we do promote trips like that, especially during O week, kind of first couple weeks of school. So every now and again we have even trouble to get students signed up, and we know that students are out here that want to do it.
Right.
Do you guys check? Is it like Facebook frequently enough, or is it posters? What would be an ideal way for you to hear about that?
I know people don't like getting emails. I'm an email guy, so if I see it in my email or on a poster, those are my two. Just like walking by, seeing it posted somewhere, it usually catches my attention more rather than just I have to scroll through Facebook and happen to be there at the right time when you posted it in order to see it happen. So I'd rather it be somewhere concisely I can star it and say I want to do this type thing. At least that's my opinion. I don't know about you guys. So
maybe we'll beef up our email game out here.
Yeah.
Send them more information out that way.
Because even if it could just be better labeled too, not just like I don't know, like label it for the event saying canoe trip this date, and then I'll be like, oh, I know that's the one I'm looking for, not just like a random OAP wants your advice or info or just general OAP. You know what I mean? So it's more specific towards the event you're sending out. And then I can find it easier. So, I mean, I don't know. Just those thoughts. I'm kind of new here, so I haven't figured it out quite yet. So anything to help ease the way into it, even like a link to sign up with what the prices would be a great help. Just be like, I'm signing up for this time. I know I'm going to be there. This is how much it's going to cost or something. Perfect. So that's an idea.
Yeah, that's a good shit. We're open to any and all suggestions because we love putting on events, especially if people are interested in it.
Right.
And so we want to do that. We're all about that. And the new ideas, it's just finding the right students that will come to these trips.
Right.
So.
One more idea. I know I'm talking a lot. Cabin outing. I know some people don't like the whole tent idea, being on the ground. I know I don't mind it, obviously, but going in a fun, like there's a big cabin or something that, like a weekend out or something like that, you go out you drive somewhere, there's a big cabin, you get the whole mountainside for the weekend or something, go to the lake, all that jazz. When the weather's nice, obviously not like this, but then you can do a bunch of stuff there, you get to meet the actual group and talk, go hiking, and you're out in the woods, I guess, rather, but you're not on the ground.
Okay.
That might be, I don't know, that might be a bit more
camping.
Yeah, so that way people who don't want to be on the ground would be more inclined, or weather permitting, you'd at least have a backup, you'd be indoors, all that stuff. I don't know.
Getting the whole cabin in the woods vibe here.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
And then kind of lastly about the OIP, we also do events, we call adventure spring breaks each year. So that's kind of based on the staff and what they like to see and where they would like to go. But for the last couple of years, we've had canoe trips that go down to the Buffalo River in Arkansas, and they run that and do a trip there. Last year, there was a group that drove out to Moab, Utah, and did a mountain biking trip. So it's largely based on what participants want to do as well. So if you guys would like to see different spring break trips or thinking about maybe going on spring break, that's something to kind of keep an eye out for.
I have a quick question. OAP does not do any rentals with like motorized things, right? It's all going to be more manpower stuff, correct? Okay. Do you have a recommend? It's outside of your services, so I was just curious for anybody in here or people that might be potentially interested. Do you have any idea of local rental services for things like for a motorboat, or I know like ATVs are popular in the summer or snowmobiling in the winter? I'm putting you on the spot, and I know that. And if you don't know, that's totally okay too.
And that's totally fine. We don't typically do that. We don't have a whole lot of like relations necessarily with those organizations where we have specific ones we would request. I know there's two very good motorsports companies over on the Hancock side, one towards Dollar Bay. So this is just kind of me speaking, not promoting any of them. I've just had interactions where I've actually rented snowmobiles through them, and they do dirt bikes and ATVs as well. So I don't have any that I would suggest are better than others. Your best bet for that info would be probably just to look it up.
Thank you. Other questions, comments at all? Works? Awesome.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you very much for being here.
Yeah, very happy to share. Come check us out.
And then pop quiz, we all remember where the OAP office is, right?
Across the street from the tiny house.
Yes.
That's the library.
Yep, and you're looking for the sign to say open, not shut. You're able to go in and get some help.
Yeah.
So,
If I rent a canoe and I wanted to go, but I don't have a vehicle, what's the situation with that?
You have no vehicle.
Yeah, like, well, I can. I'm saying some of my friends want to go, but
Okay.
if I'm unavailable, what do they do? Do they just hold the canoe and take it to the river and by hand, or you guys have like a vehicle to drop it off somewhere and pick it up?
So we do traditionally, obviously best if you have a vehicle. If you have no access or ability to get a vehicle, we will occasionally take boats just into the portage here, kind of down at Prince's Point. We have vans and trailers as well, so we can help you do that. Anything beyond that is traditionally kind of like outside the scope of the OAP, so it'd be either to source your own vehicle or wait for us to lead a trip in which we'd go to a further distance.
Princess Point, then. Okay.
Yep.
I'll let them know. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yes, absolutely.
so I'll make sure, I'll give you guys for Brady to like leave the room to make sure that there's no other questions, just
Yeah.
just to be extra sure.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Bye. And then, so you guys got a chance to talk with Ninad. I'm also just going to take the chance to do this so my position is more associated with research, and I realize that the title of this seminar is what to do outside of research, but I wanted to just make sure to make you aware of other things going on in GSG that are still beneficial to graduate students. So my position is the academic chair. We are trying to do things like this event to let you know of other things that are going on, but just some other services that are happening, and things like this first one especially are things not directly research related, but stuff to just definitely be aware of. So my committee, we are responsible for 2 seminar series this year. This first is the academic seminar series, which this is the first one. Then you also have hopefully been receiving emails about the professional development workshop series. These is the series, all of the titles that we have slotted for this academic year. Publishing your research and navigating the job search as an international grad student are both sessions that have happened, but fear not. So just like this session, how we had to do like the restart for recording, both of those sessions have also been recorded, and we are making them available on a GSG YouTube channel. So if either of those topics are interesting to you, pay attention for those links. They are forthcoming. Publishing your research, I believe, is uploaded and I think has been started to be publicized by our PR chair. Any of these seminars, so they're all here in this room Wednesday. Those are all Wednesdays, and they're all from 3 to 5, and I promise they have food at them. They are a great resource, if you, especially for starting out as a graduate student. So I'm in my 3rd year, but I've been attending these just to make sure that they're organized well. They have a lot of good information and just a lot of extra stuff to be thinking about, that some of them, it seems like a lot of really obvious ideas, but sometimes you don't think about them until somebody tells you it. And once you hear it, you're like, oh, of course, obviously I should be doing that. But sometimes it just takes the prodding of it. So our next one is next week, actually. It's enhance and broaden your communication and interview skills. This will be more directed towards PhD students, but even if you're a master's student thinking of going on to your PhD, still feel free to attend. The way I view it is you can never get too much experience or advice about how to market yourself and broadcast yourself in a job search. So any suggestions in that stuff. The LibCal event is live, so feel free to go ahead and check that out on your own. Then next semester we have effective negotiation strategies. Again, that is going to be directed more towards PhD students. Master's students are still welcome to attend. And then our final session that we're closing out the year in is exploring your career pathways and options. So the goal of this session is to just say, all right, you're all in graduate school, right? Maybe you are here for PhD or master's. Maybe you don't want to go into academia. What are other things that you can do? What options are available to you? In tandem with this session, we will also be doing a modified version of the Navigating the Job Search as an International Student as well. So that session, if you're interested in, will also be offered again in the spring in a modified form. So just to make sure you're aware of that. Then also we have our academic seminar series, so which we started out with Graduate Life Outside of Research. Our next one that we have coming up at the end of October is going to be called Working with MATLAB. Anybody a coder? Yeah? Okay. So this session is going to be directed towards you. We are still finalizing the details. That event, though, we will most likely not be hosting in this room, and instead we're going to try to do it in a computer lab on a library, so that way it's more of an interactive session for coding, because who wants to sit and listen about MATLAB for 2 hours? If you do, great, good for you. I personally would not want to sit through that, and I use MATLAB. But if that's you, no judgment, good for you. And then we're also doing one on time management on November 14th. This will involve hints, tips, and tricks for both, I believe, project management, so like a research project, and I believe we're going to also try to incorporate just personal time management skills as well. Then in the spring, we have 2 more that we're offering, which is grant writing and then also innovation and entrepreneurship. Just to let you know, I think it was predominantly science people, if I remember from when we started this. If you feel like there's a need that our committee is not addressing, so I won't be doing a poll or anything like that, but if there's ever a topic that you think, boy, it would be really great somebody on campus did this, nobody's doing this, feel free to email me, gsg-academic, with anything that's being missed. I know something that we're going to also try offering next semester is an additional seminar for that will be with more of a spin towards humanities and social science students. But if there's anything that you feel the general student body could benefit from, please feel free to let us know. We do really appreciate the feedback. So these are just the 2 seminar series. There are also 2 other things that my committee does. The first one is kind of fun. So coming up at the beginning of November, there's this competition called 3-Minute Thesis. And personally, I think that this is really cool. So it is a competition. First prize here on this campus, you get $200. Second prize is $100. And then People's Choice Award is $50. So there is a cash prize involved in this. What it is people get 3 minutes. 1 static PowerPoint slide, and you need to present your research, your thesis, or your dissertation with just that amount of information to a general audience. And we also have faculty members that are there to judge, to rank who has the best presentation. So this is something that currently registration is open. We are looking for participants. So if this is you, if you have research and are interested in trying to practice your presentation skills, I highly encourage you to register. Registration is due next Tuesday on the 26th. If you need registration details, contact your GSG rep or feel free to contact me. That's the email I mentioned earlier. Additionally, if you know anybody in your department that you think you would be just really good at this, feel free to recommend it to them. It is a great chance to just work on explaining and talking about stuff. We can often get really absorbed in our own headspace with research, and we get really good and understand what's going on. And that's good and great for making your own process and for making good progress in your work, but that's really only half of the ultimate battle. The other part of science is you need to be able to communicate it, not just with your fellow peers, but also there's the real world out there that not everybody is getting their masters and their PhDs and studying this stuff. So really great, really awesome opportunity. This is our local competition. If you cannot participate, are not at a point of participating, the official competition is Wednesday, November 7th, starting at 2:30 in the MUB. So even if you don't want to participate and actually be giving the 3-minute talks, you can still show up just to be able to watch other people's presentations, and you get a chance to help decide one of the people that's going to win, because one of the awards is called People's Choice that I mentioned. Whoever the audience favorite presentation is, they get an award as well. In this competition, so this is like the first round that's local, just NTU students. It's actually part of a broader competition that is hosted by the University of Queensland in Australia. They're the ones that started it and organize it and keep it going. The winner, so whoever the highest rank placed PhD student, so it's a competition designed for PhD students. Master's students are welcome to participate at Tech and you have the potential to win, but master's students are not allowed to move on to the next level. That's just the competition rules. I don't make them, that's just what University of Queensland says. But anyway, if you are the highest ranked PhD student in our competition, you get the chance to advance to the next level and so on and so forth. So kind of fun, something, so it is research related, but it's kind of a different avenue of research. You get to let your creativity side out, be energetic and excited about your research and passionate for whatever you're doing. So if you're up for the challenge, be sure to sign up, or feel free to at least just stop on by for a little while on November 7th. It'll be a great competition, lots of stuff to do. And then additionally, another thing, I don't have a slide prepared for this, but next semester, be on the lookout for information for something called the GRC, which is the Graduate Research Colloquium. That is our other big event on campus. It's a chance for just our own kind of local conference for graduate students to be able to present all of their research to everybody. So be on the lookout for that. Are there any questions about any of the academic chair stuff? All right, I hope to see you guys there at some of them, or at least taking advantage of some of the break advantages that we've shown out. And this is Anne, right? So, Anne, pleasure to meet you, and Jacob. I know we can't officially meet in person.
That's okay. That's awkward.
Anne is here from the Student Development
Complex, yeah.
Complex, yes.
SDC.
So, she has perfect timing. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off.
Perfect. Perfect.
And I
I'm going to open that up to dry out. Is that okay?
7 years of bad luck. So.
Oh, hey, I don't care. Crazy how rainy.
Jacob, what is the timing for the next week's interview skills?
3 to 5, this room. Yep, and it's all on, it'll be a LibCal registration again. So the LibCal event is up, and you should be getting an email from your reps like later this week when I give it to them to send out. So, yep.
Thank you.
And if you have other questions, I'll still be around after Ann. So just keep
Here, I'll pass these. Are you, I don't know if you're, here, will you do that? I actually hold one, it helps me. You can do that?
Whoops, or do you want to do that?
Oh, and I can use the,
I'll be your
you'll
clicker.
do it, you'll even do my clicking. All right,
5-star service.
All right. So my name is Ann Hoover, as it was mentioned, and I'm the Fitness and Aquatics Manager at the SDC. Have you all been up to the SDC so far, at least a few times this semester, despite the rain? Yeah, I know, what an interesting trek that is now during this part of the season. It should get better, right? We've had an interesting fall, to say the least. So basically, I'm up here to talk to you a lot about what your tech experience entails and what you get with that. And, up there, if you want to go ahead and separate with a paper clip, take off. You can actually, at this moment, why don't you go ahead and remove the 2 pamphlets? And right now, the only sheet you don't need, well, actually, yes, you do, is this kind of something I could use on. It's this gold and white one and the black and white. And if you want to flip this black and white one over to the second page it'll kind of give you some information that I'll be talking about in just a second. This one here is going to show you your hours of operation. So for all of the areas in the facility, that the amenities that you get with that tech experience fee, okay? So I'll kind of go through that. So you can hit the first one. I always like, is it okay if we turn on, well actually you probably need the lights to see. I just want to make sure you can see it well enough on the pictures. I always like to talk about our memberships and what that entails, and I always start with the first one, which is the fitness center. Is there anyone in the room who has not been to the fitness center yet? So there's at least one. Good to know. Because it's really a great size space to use. So have you been to the MUB ballrooms? If you put those two ballrooms, A and B, together, you've got almost the size of the fitness center. It's quite large, very spacious. And you can kind of see by these photos here, this whole section is our cardiovascular section, the cardio machines that you might see. And we have a whole series of treadmills. In fact, I just purchased 4 brand new treadmills that were installed at the end of August. So that's really great. We had to replace ones that, needed to be replaced. And we're always working on improving and giving new, equipment to the facility. We have recumbent, reclining bikes. We have upright seated bikes. We have spinning bikes. We have rowers. We have stair climbers. We've got ellipticals that move frontward and backward in that circular motion. We also have a really neat machine called the Helix, which does side to side, lateral and inward motion. So it's really neat. We have steppers. We have incline trainers. The list just keeps growing. In fact, I purchased another really neat piece called the Power Mill, which is much like a stationary machine that you climb steps. And it's right there. So it's really great because even though we have a lot of steps to walk around, they're now slippery. So this is a great way to be indoors and still get the same effect of it. So, and you can see over here too that this is our fitness center, the weight machine area. That's just a portion of it. We have everything from machines you put the weight on to machines you take a pin and you put into the weight, stack weight. And you can also use free weight material that we have there, dumbbells, kettlebells, medicine balls, all sorts of different apparatus, which is really neat for us to use and have for variety. Now, having said that, what do you think the percentage of people that come to any fitness center actually know what they're doing?
Less than 25%.
You are really close. What'd you say?
5 to 10.
Yeah, 15 about. In all the years I've been doing this, over 20-something years, I really pay attention to this because why do people not usually come to a fitness center? What's the main reason? They're what?
They don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do, so it makes you feel very uncomfortable, right? Intimidated, because we think that everybody else knows. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? The only people that really do know are the people that are in the industry of fitness and health or have taken a lot of courses. Most other people Google it, watch somebody else, right? So it's really interesting about our familiarization with the facility. So one of the other things, services that we offer, it's separate to your tech experience fee, but it's definitely a great toolbox, and now you can click it. We offer personal training. We actually have 3 student trainers right now on hand that are right within the exercise science or sports and fitness management majors, and they're there to really help. So they're now working and serving, the community, the public, staff, faculty, everyone, to get them started, because you can get out of the 15% bracket and really learn about it, because it's really, really important. Now, I'm comfortable talking about my age. How old do you think I am? Oh, that's really mean. I don't feel allowed to do that, but I'm gonna anyway.
What a day over 30.
Oh, I love you. That's the way to answer. Woohoo! I'm also 5 pounds. So. I'm 46 years old. My goal is, of course, God willing, to live till I am 96. Do the math. That's a lot of years left, right? I have like 40 to 50 more years to keep working out and being fit and functional. When I think about that, I'm like, wow, am I so happy that I know what I'm doing and that I love what I do, right? Because that's really important. Whether you're a grad student, undergrad student, faculty, staff, it doesn't matter. A lot of us sit a majority of the time, right? Other than walking back and forth from class, your body takes a toll in that position. When I studied in the library for 6 hours, many a days when I was in school, I remember my neck was like this, my shoulders were like this. So it is really important not only to bring back balance, but also to improve. Whoa!
It's like temperamental sometimes. Keep going.
I'm going to keep going. I know this by heart. But you know, it's really important to strengthen your body and to take it away from all the redundant activity that you do. And you want to know what else is so important? You check out when you do those things. You actually make yourself unplug, recharge, right? And do it and come back to studying and you feel better. That was my routine in college. I remember I would go to classes, I would work out, I would go back to the library. Well, the library was a few times in the day, but that was really, really important. So far I've just told you about the fitness center. I haven't even done the rest yet. So what's really neat is that we also have other areas of the SDC that you can use, which is really great. So have you ever used, how many in here are using the same shampoo for the last 5 years? Same shampoo? She's like, I have to keep raising my hand. This is not fair. Have you ever noticed when you use the same product, your teeth don't stay as white anymore because it was that one you use over and over? You eat the same foods, your body reacts kind of like, oh, I've done this before. Use the same shampoo, your hair is like, You know what? We always change. When you change that product, which now I bet you're going to do, as soon as you change that product, you'll notice something different, right? Even if it's only a mental moment of placebo. You think, wow, my hair looks great. My teeth are whiter. Your body is the same way. So when you exercise the same, your body goes, oh, and it doesn't do anything anymore. So you need change. So here's change. Oh, you're there. Can you hit the button? Here's new shampoo. You got why I said that so much? Everybody needs change. Sometimes it's really, really good for you. And I didn't realize that change until I was in my 30s. That I said, oh, but I love to run, so I'm going to keep running and running and running and doing these things. And I realized, you know what? This is going to help change my body if I, in my mind, if I do something different. Soon as I started adding in different elements of exercise, what a difference. New shampoo is really important, or toothpaste, just in case I don't use the wrong one. So, actually go back to it real quick. So there are 2 pools that we have. Have you all been to the pool yet?
Yes.
Because you don't want to raise your hand. It's just like, I'm not telling. We have a lap pool for swimming lane, lap or recreational open swimming. We have a dive tank, which has 2 dive boards and a platform that you can use as well. And we also offer swim programs. Now, what's really interesting is we have our open public swim lessons, but we do have a lot of requests from adults for private swim lessons. We do have a wait list because it's very popular, but we always try to work with, getting on, people's services as quick as possible. But there are a lot of adults who don't know how to swim. I did not swim until I was in my 30s. And then I wanted to do a triathlon. Well, not only am I claustrophobic, but I believe in sea monsters. So I was in trouble. And you know what? Now I manage the pool, and I can swim 2.5 miles.
That stretch.
One stretch.
Wow.
So you never know, right? So I didn't learn proper swimming technique until my 30s. That's why I'm so passionate about showing other people. Really, really important to have that comfort, especially if we live around a lot of water, right? Now you may click. So I've talked about the fitness center, the pool. Now look, there's more. There's so much more. The whole multi-purpose. Everyone been in there yet? Some of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can see there's an indoor court, which you can use for basketball, volleyball, badminton, all sorts of things, right? And then there's a track that surrounds it.
Yeah.
I love this track in January. I love being outside. I will do exercise anywhere, especially outside. I love being around, fresh air. But in January, and I can put on a pair of shorts, and I can use that track, which 8 laps is a mile. I'm happy. It's change. It's new shampoo sometimes, you know? Does everybody get that now, right? Now, this is not part of our memberships, but because you're students and you may be aware a little bit about the outdoor adventure program, we collaborate with them now, and they have a club too. So we do offer sometimes rock climbing classes for use right now, and then we implement for students and different people sometimes. But the club, it's called the Ridge Roamers Club. They operate usually Monday through Thursday night, or 7 p.m. to 9. And because you're already an SDC member, because you have that tech experience fee covered, you can come check in with your ID at the multi-area, and you can talk to the Ridge Roamer Club members. And I think a club fee for the whole semester might be like $20. I don't think it's really outrageous. They will get you harnessed up, and you can try it out, which is really cool. Now, this is for me, my bucket list, because I'm also afraid of heights with the sea monsters. So I keep saying one day I'm going to go up there because it's really neat. But they also have a novice wall as well, which is much smaller, and it's to the right. So that's really a great way to start. But talk about different change. Open your mind and try new things, because it really, really helps you recharge, okay? Makes you feel successful too when you try and dip it, you know, here and there. So that is the 400 square foot climbing wall.
It's only in the weekend, I guess, that wall climbing.
They told you it's only on the weekend?
Yeah.
They may have changed their club hours, and we were not told that. So I'm glad, I'll find out just to confirm, because it was up until now.
And it's 25.
20, so you know the price. Okay, why don't you come up here? We'll have to find out. I just have to grab a tissue here. That's good information, because from what we were told. So I will actually check into that, because that's really good. So we not only have the fitness center, the pool, the multi-purpose, now you may hit it again. We have also racquetball, squash, and volleyball courts, which is really cool. Now, I'm not very coordinated, but I like shutting the door and hitting the ball here and there. It's a good way to get some stress out. And you can reserve it sometimes right in the moment. You can come to the multi-purpose area where you show your ID and say, is there a court open? And they will tell you. And that's really nice, because you can come right then and there. We also offer the equipment free of charge. You can check it out when you come. So that's really nice too. And there's a squash, particular squash courts, and then some of them are shared amongst them. And you can, you know, get a group together and go and do that. So it's a lot of fun, you know, when you think about it. So we have that in addition. Now you may click it. And here's what's really cool. Every one of us, well, not every one of us, but many of us might have a pair of skates in the closet that haven't been used in a while, or have never skated at all. And I know they offer it for PE classes as well. And so, oh, sorry, I put my hand out. You're probably like thinking I'm gonna click. Sorry, keep my hands on you. So it's another great opportunity to try it out. So if you look at this gold and white sheet here, I've talked to you so far about the SDC, which is the space itself and the multi-purpose area where the basketball and all the courts are. Those are the hours of operation. So they're open 6 a.m. How many get up at 6 a.m. in here? Wow, okay. So not that you're coming to the SDC, you're probably studying or getting ready for class, right? But 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. And then our fitness center is open from 6 a.m. till almost midnight, which is really good. And on Fridays, 6 to 9, and you can see Saturdays, 8 to 8, and Sunday, which is really nice, till 11 p.m. Because some of us travel and we come back and we think, I need to get in there. That's a nice hour, too, for it to close. Ticket office hours, 3 different times for open swim. So you see that? 6 a.m. till 8, 4:30 to 7, and then we have adult only during the afternoon, just so that we, don't, avoid getting splashed, all that good stuff. And then the Gates Tennis Center is separate to us, but I do believe your tech experience fee applies to that as well. You just show your ID over there. It's just not within our building. And the university images. And then right here on this gold box at the bottom left, that's where the public skating hours are. They can change every semester based on the ice rink availability, but usually 2 days a week that they offer it. So you show your ID for that as well. You can also look into getting skates locally. There's probably some rental opportunities. So I've told you about all of these areas, but the next slide I'm going to show you is the one I'm the most prideful of. What? Locker rooms? What are you talking about? Here's why. We obviously have student and non-student locker rooms. We have great shower areas, sauna areas. But this is the one I like to talk about. Locker rental service. Does anyone have a rented locker in the room? Okay. So let me tell you, have you ever noticed that if you cut up like your fruit the night before and you put it in a container, the next morning you would probably eat it, right? Because it's already made for you, right? If you picked your clothes out the night before, you know when you wake up, you're not frazzled, you're not rushing because everything's ready. But then there's that day you wake up and you don't have anything planned and you're running around trying to think and you can't think and you feel kind of like not successful because of that, right? A locker is very much a no excuse, successful, organized situation where you will actually create more of an opportunity to work out than saying, oh, I forgot my shoes. Oh, there's this. Oh, they want to go to dinner. Oh, you know, or I don't have time. One of the greatest things I love about that is that I can keep all my supplies in there all the time, extra clothes. There are a few summers that I bike to work and I live by the airport. And so it was great. I'd bring all my stuff, leave it in the locker for the week. Boop, boop. There I am, right? And I get to do the same thing on the way home. Take a lot of gas too, by the way. But it creates a great situation for you that you have it all there. You don't have to do anything. And it's like a survivor kit. I keep one in my car too. So when I forget shoes, there's a pair. When I forget socks, there's a pair. It's a great way to prepare because if we were to have our fruit cut up, we would eat it, right? Because it's all done. How many would see an apple sit on your desk for 2 weeks or, you know, an orange? It's just something that we look at, but it's like for some reason mentally it's more work to do it, you know, than it is to do it, like I said, when your mind is ready or mentally prepared. And then we do have new additional day lockers that are kept out by the multi. So you may have seen them along the hallway. If you came just for the day, you can put your lock on it, or you can use an empty locker in the locker rooms. So it makes it very convenient. So strangely, this is the one I'm the most happy to talk about because it really creates a successful situation, you know, when you think about it. So I said all this. I told you the percentage of people that know what they're doing in a fitness, and I explained everything about all the areas in the SDC. And there's someone in this room who goes, I don't know, that's not for me. I don't like venturing out on my own. Sometimes we need a group situation, right? With structure, someone to tell us what to do. Sometimes that works out really well because then you just show up and do what you need to do, right? You may click it now. We have a fitness class studio. So right next to the fitness center, there's a really spacious room as well. That is air conditioned when necessary, because now that's changing. Full range of semester classes. So if you look at this bright yellow sheet right here, and this one, which is kind of this ombre gray, this information right here is going to show you all the classes that we offer for this semester. And it's for the entire semester. And some of these instructors are so awesome. They teach sometimes 4 times a day or more. They love what they do. But they're the ones who tell you what to do. So you just have to come and say, oh, okay. And everyone that's in that group is usually there with the same purpose. They want someone else to give them structure. They like the variety. You like the music. You like, you know, anything about it that kind of creates enjoyment as well as an exercise program. So you get the best of both worlds. Now this is separate to the membership, what you have for Tech Experience. That doesn't cover this yet, but I am working on it right now because I feel it should be part of it. But what we did do, and if you are looking at this, I call this one your refrigerator flyer. You know, you can magnetize it right to your refrigerator or your file cabinets or something, or your metal doors, wherever you have it. This brochure right here gives you all this information and all the programs in detail. So it explains everything about each class, the prices, and we gave every single one of the prices for the classes have a student rate. So you have a good, reasonable price because this is purchased by punch cards. So when you come to like a yoga class, you would purchase a yoga punch card. So you could go to any yoga class offered on that punch card. But if you wanted to go to Zumba, that yoga card doesn't work for that. But because of that, we had a lot of customers say, but I want to go to a lot of different classes on one punch card. So our recreation office at Michigan Tech heard people that asked for that, so they made this card as well. This ombre colored flyer, it shows you all the classes. It is made every semester, And it gives you a variety of classes you can go to on this one punch. So you might say, hey, great, I'm going to buy a yoga punch card because I love yoga. But now I can go to any of these classes here and there as I want to. And it's good for that whole semester. So it could change next semester and have some variety classes that are different. And every semester, pay attention to our online and advertising all over, because we do offer what's called dollar days. Has anyone seen the dollar days promotions that came out? So what that is we have a flyer for that. The first week of school or second week, we offer it. You can go to any class for $2 just to try it out. It's like tasting the menu and get a feel. So you guys can certainly pay attention for spring semester. That first week you come back to school, we have now wait a week because we want you all to just relax and settle in, and then you can start coming to classes and different things. So that's what's really neat. And you can see that there's a youth group information, which you don't necessarily need, but it was in the packet, so you can put it to the side. So this right here are for all the classes and programming, these 3 pieces that I showed you. And I'm just going to show you that I'm sticking it, so if you want any details, you can, you can look right in this brochure, and you may look at anything online. Michigan Tech Recreation is all you have to pull up, or at Michigan Tech University site. You could probably type it in and it'll pop up as well. And the information I have here on the climbing wall and all that, and we'll be finding out just what those club hours are so we can fix that. There is also an addition of information in here. Talks a little bit about parking, because there is, up in our lot, there is a 2-hour limit. So anything after 4 p.m. is free. Weekends are free. But I just want you to know, like much down here, some of you who drive have permits. You don't worry. You don't have a car. You don't have to worry. The last part of the STC is in the very basement. They're actually renovating it. But if you have any interest in archery club, shooting, it's a shooting range. And they're, like I said, renovating the whole space. And that will be hopefully done maybe next semester. You can read all the policies in regards to carrying any, guns on campus or anything like that, just so you know. Okay, so that information is on this sheet as well. Before I tackle the very last one, in fact, would you also tap it? This is just a taste of some of the classes that we have taught in the past and continue to teach. So we have yoga, spinning, Zumba. Metabolic conditioning is a really neat type of functional fit class, kind of like a boot camp that we do in the mornings. Payo has been here, Aikido. We have Aqua Zumba in the pool, Aqua Fit, H2O Cardio Blast in the water, TRX. We've had Muay Thai kickboxing in the past. Pound at the very bottom is with drumsticks, that you actually go to the beat of music in a choreographed form. We have Afrobeat, which is really neat. The instructor's name is Stephanie. She's so cool. And these are some of the youth classes that we offer as well. So we're always constantly, we have instructors knocking on our door all the time wanting to get involved, because we have a lot to offer. We want to make sure that you guys have lots of shampoos to try. Lastly, I'm going to talk about 2 more things here. I'll just this, and then I'll have you switch in just a sec, because I'm not sure what's next. I think I know, but I don't. I think it's the trails, but this brochure right here. So have anyone gone to the hockey games? No? Some hockey games? So one of our goalies, his name is Devon Carroll. His older brother is Tanner Carroll, who plays now for NHL hockey. So he was playing for Chicago Blackhawks. Now he plays for Vancouver Canucks, professional hockey. His mother works with me. Her name is Joan Carroll. She has 10 children. Her sister's a yoga instructor as well and has 10 children. They have lots of children, and all of them are athletes. So she has learned in many years that with the way that, our food is changing and things, and how things are being boxed and, produced and whatnot, there's been more allergies that have been popping up, and there's a lot more gluten-free products because of hormones and changes and issues in the foods. And so her children were experiencing some problems. And so in order for her to figure out how to fix that with 10 children, she had to really investigate, like, what was good for this child, what was causing the problem with this child. She found out one of them had to be gluten-free, the other one had to be dairy-free. So it was just a constant interest, for her. She loved learning about it, even though, she successfully helped her children, that she got educated with nutrition and personal health coaching. So now she works not only teaching yoga for 15 years, she does yoga therapy, but she's also specializing in what's in this first page when you flip it open. So health coaching, individual and group, yoga, individual and group, nutrition and wellness program, athletes, mind body nutrition, pre and postnatal nutrition yoga, and special dietary needs. She will actually meet with you one-on-one. She will even come to your location and look in your refrigerator. I don't know if we want that. She will take you grocery shopping. She'll do everything to help you get your balance. Because is there anyone in this room who has, like myself, poor sleeping habits? Anybody here? I am. I try to do too much. So I'm up early and I'm trying to get to bed, but I'm always, one more thing. And so that's why my eyes look this way. Tired. We're always trying to do something. So I am not balanced because I need to figure out how to organize my life. And sometimes we have bad eating habits or exercise habits. And so that's what makes our balance in our life really poor. So what she does is she helps dissect and figure out where it is that she can help you rein in some of those problems and work with them and get better outcome, which means more successful student, right? Because ultimately, there's a lot of people that are living off of energy drinks, which is normal. I mean, we see it all the time because we're all trying to, be, successful and also be, productive as much as we can, except we're living on fumes. We're just surviving. So it's really important. So she's somebody who can really you can meet with her one time, or you can meet with her many times if you really need some, help with that. And so something to investigate. You can read online her bio, and she can explain a little bit more in detail. And this is Joan right here. This is her on a paddleboard in the middle of the canal. She lives right on the canal, lucky her. But she paddleboards in the mornings. She meets her sister in the mornings, and they come together. So neat. So in conclusion, there's a lot that is happening up at the SDC. It's a great way to get involved. It's a great way to meet people. And you get the opportunity to be as functional, fit, and healthy as possible, and to take a second and unplug, from all the studying and the schoolwork and everything. You need to have good balance in your life, and that's a great way to get it. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask that I may not have covered, or? Yes. How cold are the swimming pools? So that's a very good question. Our swimming pools are set to 84 degrees every day. However, water does evaporate, right? So when water evaporates, if you were in a bathtub and you sat there for 30 minutes, will the water still be that warm? No. It starts to slowly cool off. So what do we typically do when we are cold? We turn on that hot water. Well, we're only in a bathtub. So what happens is the pool water evaporates, and they have to pump in fresh water, but it's not warm water. It's city water that gets a little bit cooler, but it's still set to 84, so it'll get warmed up. But every so often, that's why sometimes any pool you go to, it's 10,000 gallons of water. And so one of the things you have to learn when you go into a pool is you can wear the right apparel. Sometimes there are longer, skin, second skin type apparel that you can put in, which really help, or rash guard shirts. But ideally, once you jump in, your body will acclimate, and it is a little better. It's much warmer than Lake Superior, I promise you. Probably by 40 degrees. 44. So you do have to sometimes just go in and let it settle, and then it's okay. Anytime you're in any water and you don't move, you will get cold. But if you move, you'll be fine. Anything else? Well, it's a pleasure to come and see you guys. If you think of any questions, don't hesitate to go online and you can look me up. And I can talk with you one-on-one. You want to come meet with me just to kind of explain a few more things, I'll be happy to, whether it's personal training or anything like that, okay?
Okay, so let's go ahead and thank Anne
Oh,
for
you're
being
welcome.
here.
Welcome.
And thank you to all of you for joining us today. Just to let you know, you should be receiving a survey either this evening or tomorrow. Please feel free to fill it out, give us some feedback on our session. We're looking to always improve our academic seminars. Thank you for being here. Hopefully it was useful information, and we look forward to seeing you at future GSG events.
All right. Oh, and last page has the information on trails.